Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the ArtGibbs Sports Business Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. And I don't know about you, but if I'm, sitting late at night looking at Google Earth, looking at different universities, the great Big Ten universities, you see Michigan, you see Wisconsin, beautiful campuses, these old families of shipping magnates whose children can't decide on majors and end up at these amazing universities. The weather, the cold, the snow, the blizzarded out Ohio State Michigan game, a game Iowa versus Wisconsin where it's all you can see is the snow, the white of the snow when they're going for it on fourth down. And that's how I've always felt about USC, UCLA, and Bel Air. They fit right in to that amazing, great tradition of the North, of the snow, and of college football. And now we finally have that. We have USC and UCLA all in one conference together. Reportedly, in a few years, UCLA, USC are going to the Big Ten, at least as far as their football and basketball is concerned. And so why is this? Many people will say the TV deals, it's all about the TV money. And of course, conference realignment up until this point has been almost exclusively about the TV deals. We've talked about it, reported on it in previous podcasts, as well as many others. Of course, the famous Nebraska going to the Big Ten, breaking that rivalry with Oklahoma, Maryland going to the Big Ten. Again, based on that very lucrative Big Ten TV deal. And again, some of it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy. When these schools go to the Big Ten, they are, of course, bringing with them their content effectively, and that can be used in negotiating these TV deals. And surely that will be something that happens in this case. USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten, that will ensure that they will be a very high number when they go into their next round of negotiations. Of course, the Big Ten is already sort of the big banana when it comes to TV deals, base package TV deals. They're $2.64 billion over 6 years. They're currently in that contract. Got a couple more years left on that contract. And when they go to renegotiate, that will be a big boon having UCLA and USC there as well. Now, we discussed this on a previous podcast, but the total payout for the Big Ten in 2017-2018 was $659 million in TV payout versus $627 million for the SEC. Now that consists of the base TV package, any primetime packages, and bowls, college football playoff, etc. Now the SEC, of course, they've got their base package deal with ESPN, and then they've got their primetime CBS deal on top of that, and then of course bowls and playoffs, and same with the Big Ten. But obviously, the stronger the base contract, the better they're going to, the better those numbers are going to be once you add in the bowls and the playoffs. Now, but of course, the SEC adding Texas and Oklahoma, the next, it's sort of like the sports franchise prices themselves. The next person up, same with quarterback in the NFL, the next person up will usually set the market, will sort of set a record for the purchase price. And it's the same with these TV deals with these top conferences like the SEC and the Big Ten. Next man up will set records, whether it's the Big Ten or the SEC. And it seems like these schools are switching for the check. USC and UCLA leave the Pac-12's 12-year, $3 billion deal that's about to come up, that's about to end, and about to be renegotiated, and they go to the much more lucrative Big Ten. But it might not be that simple, right? There's so much influx, NIL. Where is college football going to be in the future? Where is college basketball going to be in the future? Clearly, these schools want to get as much funding as they can through these TV deals, and they're doing that by joining Big Ten, SEC, so that they can negotiate a much bigger TV contract. But what will college football look like in 5 years, 10 years? Etc. Will we see the end of the ACC's contract, which runs until 2034? And that is, we'll talk more about that in a future episode. But are these schools and are these conferences positioning for something that might be like a break-off of the Power 5 or some level of the Power 5, 40 to 65 teams that break off. And what will that look like? That's the question. One thing we know for sure in USC and UCLA changing conferences, we know that this is not going to be the last move. There'll be multiple more moves. And potentially this is a positioning for what the future of college football might look like. Whether it's a break off of 40 to 60 teams, new playoff setting, new money distribution, professional league. How will NIL fit into this? Will the players be compensated? And will we recognize college football in 10 years? Thank you.